Let's see about the skills as compositions. So I do feel like a Lancer is a perfect for me. She does have that stun ability and taunt ability. That's well synergizing well with my party, but we never like check out other options. Like and that's what we're gonna be trying to do right now. Check the other options here. So there is this Kinsman. She is level 12 Kinsman. Kinsman wearing is can go with axes and shields, swords, and she's wearing also heavy armor. Alright, 500 something health here. So what importantly is skills here. Enemy target, strength. So it's the Lancer sunder an enemy. Alright. The King's Resolve. Concentrate a small area, providing a moderate damage, absorbing shield to all followers within it. Okay, we have something that like that with Enrage. There was a taunt. Compels an enemy to use its next 2 attacks against you. Next 2 attacks, but it's having a lot of energy. It's costing 51 energy. So my taunt is like a little bit cheaper, I believe. Shield yourself, absorb the damage. It's a lot of energy here. Inflict Thunder over here. Strength. Deflect. Place a shield on a party member that will absorb 30% of any physical damage done to it. After being hit 3 times, it will release the energy stores to a single random enemy on the battlefield. That releases arcane magic. Okay. Magical deflection. Place a shield on a party member that will absorb 50% of magical damage is done. So it's a physical, it's a magical. Okay. Avenger Strike. Powerful frontal attack affecting a small area. The strike also reduces the magical armor of the affected target by 30%. Alright. A lot of energy again. Hold the line. Shield an area. Any party member inside the area will receive 50% bonus to armor and magical armor. The shield area will last for 3 turns. Okay, it's pretty bad like right now anyway. All of this. Our Tower of Protection. Buff armor yourself by 200%. 61 energy. There's a taunt. AoE. Okay, so that's better. But it's have 5 cooldown. Bash. The shield turns into arcane energy, slamming into the energy will deal massive damage. So there's no ability that can stun so far. Okay, any damage done to the enemy will transfer 50% of side damage through the chain to opposite target. That's Thunder. Arcane. So a stun is like mechanic we currently work and engaging with. So she's not really good. The Kinsman, not really good for my party composition apparently. Yes, I prefer the Lancer like way better. In fact, I was like really fortunate to get a Lancer first. Somehow, you know, my instincts awaken in me. So she's out. So who else we have? Sentinel. Let's see about the Sentinels, yeah. What a Sentinels can do. Vigilant Strike. It's space and okay, it's normal attack, yeah. Challenging Punch. So punch your target and provoke it to attack you for 2 turns. Okay, so that's good that's good for tanks for sure. So as a character itself, we're using hardened armor instead of heavy armor, right? But you still can use a shield and a great sword. Intense training, buff strength for 1 turn, 100%. Banner of Might, buff strength and agility for 20%. It doesn't really matter. Initial rally, war cry increases party members' armor by 25%, initiative by 50%. Okay, initiative is okay, but it costs you 2 AP and 55 focus. We get into 30 focus per hit, so it's maybe not that bad. Charge. Prepare his action, gain 3 AP and the current turn. 73 energy. Battlefield Greed. Increase the critical chance by 20%, block power by 20, and armor by 200% for 3 turns. Okay, so good for tanking, if you can challenging. But this one is just single target enemy. Well, the Lancer have the AoE taunt. The buff armor and magic armor minus 30. Okay, Sunder. Every enemy a battlefield presence. As you smash a banner into the ground, any enemy in the area receives the debuff that when attacked will also get stunned if they have 2 debuffs on them. Okay, so there's a stun mechanic over here. It's kind of interesting, but if they have 2 debuffs on them already, if they have, for example, Sand and Bleed on them. Alright, so Thunder is something we could achieve easily, but at least with the Lancer. Not anymore. But like what kind of another debuff could be, it's a Bleed for sure. So it's harder to do. And it's also have 5 cooldown turns. When the single stun we have on my Lancer, I have like 3 turns cooldown, I believe. It's only single target. Well, this battle banner can work more on multiple enemies. However, it's have more cooldown and activation sequences harder. Each banner placed on the battlefield will also kill the party member in range of 3. This is the only banner so far. Oh no, there's a banner of might. So again, Lancer is just better. In terms of like abilities to crowd control one single entity like a boss. It's just better for my... especially like considering my party composition here. Right, so what next we have? So this one is out. The wizard. Let's like wizard instead of the priest over here. So how that's gonna work? Oh, I didn't press confirm. I'm a fool. Confirm. So let's see about this wizard. The wizard giving me conjuring various physical illusions that can help party advance in the dungeon. It's saying this is arcane damage. Right, so wizard doing arcane damage, by the way. There is a firewall. There is a little bit of a shield. So there's a thunder with frost blast. Right, 1 MP, 29 mana. So that's good. That's useful thing. And the buff in initiative. There's ice wall. So potentially prevent archers from shooting you at. Fire resistance 10,000. Conjure fire shield to protect you, granting immunity to fire damage and reflecting 6% of damage if through back as attacker's fire damage. Inflict wounds. Hurl a sharp ice in a straight line, damaging multiple enemies and inflicting them with wounds. So wounds is good. It's reducing the initiative, right? Rings of Frost. It does cost a lot of mana. It doesn't have, like, you know, the cleric has this excommunicate skill, like, very own, and then not using focus. So we can start, like, even without focus, we can stun an enemy. Alright, we can stun enemy even without a focus. Which is, mage doesn't have any ability with that, like that. I don't even have, like, don't see any stun over here whatsoever. So it's look cool on the paper, the damage-wise. Maybe it's, like, better than the ranger in terms of damage, but again, ranger can stun enemy. Ranger also can stun. So currently my all this, like, fight is going, like, one turn we're using one character to stun the enemy, while other 3 characters doing damage, and rinse and repeat. And hopefully before, like, enemy get out of stun, we can kill them. All right. So we have a Necromancer here. We have a Necromancer over here. Confirm. Which is, like, kind of strange because Necromancers are our enemies, and our people don't have access to Necromancy as a magic, according to the lore. So how the Necromancer came here, that's a question. When we ask him, how did you, like, join in us, he didn't answer, like, you know, nothing was saying that he was, like, enemy before. Right, anyway, so Necromancer has light armor, books and stuff. Necromancer can temporarily animate a skeleton and interact with it, asking for direction or telling other stories. What? I can ask skeleton for direction? Interesting. So it's a death magic. It's a strength-based, interesting. So Necromancer is something that actually requires strength instead of intelligence. Never mind, there's intelligence over here. Is giving the shield. The mental magic is, so this is intelligence too. Inflict target with a virtual plague, dealing damage over returns. So that's interesting. Eldritch Bones, Addict of Bones. Necromancer summon a pile of bones that will cast a spell on the battlefield. Whenever the summon dies on the battlefield, a skeleton will rise from that place and fight for Necromancer for 1 turn. Okay. That could be interesting mechanic. But again, so far, no much of crowd control. Necromancer detonates death magic around the target, dealing damage to anyone in 3-meter radius. Raise skeleton. Necromancer summon between 1 to 3 skeletons on the battlefield. Again, maybe skeletons can do some taunting or another kind of crowd control. The Necromancer summon an entity to bargain with. The entity will consume up to 35 of the Necromancer current life, and it will fire the Death Bolt to destroy random enemies on the battlefield. Death Bolt dealing from 40 to 75 damage, which is not really that much. Have air alarm here. Necromancer erect a massive bone wall to block a way of enemies for 3 turn. When the bone wall expires, explode an area dealing damage on all enemies. So this is kind of partially a way of crowd controlling, but we also will not be able to shoot through the bone wall, right? Because it will be in front of our line of sight. So yeah. Using the bones of the fallen around the battlefield, place a damage-absorbing barrier on all party members. Not much of damage absorption. Corrosion. Deal damage to an enemy target and corrode other defenses, reducing armor and magic armor. Send horrific vision into the mind of enemies, making them unable to attack for... Okay, so there's a stun here. So there's a stun over here. 94 mana. And it's called Fear. So he does have like some partial crowd control here. An additional alliance in form of skeletons. It is consume a lot of mana. And it will go down 5. Right, so potentially, I can replace cleric with necromancer. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. As of thing, because well, he will not be able to heal anyone, so he potentially will be maybe dealing more damage, but not really healing. And this is also require focus, 50 focus. So like again, your cleric can stun enemy on his first turn even without a focus. And you saw the problem we have with the focus. The moment I reload or load the game again, and we lose all the focus. And in order to get 50 focus, I actually need to attack him 3 times with a death bolt. So I only can use the fear on my third turn. On my third turn when yeah. This is like too much to wait here. Usually like one party member already dead. So again, it's like not really going into my plan, at least on the hard difficulty. I don't think like I will be able to utilize the Necromancer to actually in our party here. Unfortunately, I was looking forward to that. Okay, let's try keep analyzing until like my goal is working. So the Thief, you know what the Thief doing, we know the range do. Okay, Priest and Night Warden. No Night Wardens over here. We did play with the Night Warden a little bit, and with the Battle Priest, but it was in the first days. I already forgot all of the skills, for sure. So what do we have here? Again, what would you have with the Battle Cleric? Can prayer and shrines fully healing the party. So it's just normal ability to do in strength. So they're using hardened armor. That's I remember. Hammer, two-handed on the book or mace in the process. Speaking of maces, did I just got a good new mace here? It's an axe. Short spear. Short spear could be interesting. Strength, physical damage, maybe not. The shield again could be interesting. Block damage, strength, and agility, but maybe not. Anyway, skills for her. So we have devotion. You pray to your chosen divinity, increasing focus by 35, armor by 50, and receiving a damage absorbing shield. So that's good if like enemy concentrated on you. But we saw multiple times that specific enemies can just ignore your frontliners and just go for like back lines. You know, straight line backliners. Get in here. The Battle Cleric places the blame on enemy target dealing damage and reducing initiative by 30% for 3 turns. Blame him. Party Heal. Okay, so Party Heal was like a very useful ability, by the way, and it's like a very cheap one. Strike an enemy with a Righteous Fury, dealing damage on them and healing all nearby party members. Righteous Blow, 1 MP. It's a little bit heavy on the mana. That's basically like 1/4 of my mana. Orb of Light. Launches Orb of Holy Light on enemy, dealing aligned damage in the area around them. Light Touches Strike. A Whisper Prayer that enchants the weapon with the Holy Light and strike the enemy, dealing light damage. A monster of the moment of respite increases your focus by 60 and regenerate 35 of your mana. So it can give you mana back, right? Which is good, again, if the enemy can actually concentrate on you. So in terms of the healing abilities, right, I think a Battle Cleric could be better than actual Cleric. In terms of how much of healing providing. But if we actually The game current state is on the hard difficulty at least. If you actually healing myself, all right. We are not damaging, right? And monsters doing so much damage with, especially boss kind of monsters that are able to kill my character in one turn, in one turn of monster, right? Monster turn. That like healing make no sense. It just what makes sense is continuously keeping them stunned, crowd controlled, distracted by the decoy or something. Persian Flames. Curse, a stun. Okay, so there's a stun. We have three turns cooldown. It does require focus, however. Cleanse your party members with the Holy Flames, removing all stun and curse. Okay, alright, never mind. It's removing stun. It's not stunning enemies. Never mind. Declare a sanctuary on the battlefield, healing all party members in the area and placing the blessing that will return 80% of the damage back to the attackers. So sanctuary could be okay if you can work with that. 5 cooldown. Again, no crowd control options. So basically, what I'm saying, after looking through all of those, other classes, except the Night Warden. Right, we just our Night Warden on a mission. We can check it out right now. So we came to conclusion here that our party composition that have Ranger, Priest, Rogue, and Lancer. It's actually the best party composition there is in the game. The Priest can stun the enemy in the first turn right away, and subsequently, Lancer can go have a very cheap stun as well, focus-wise and energy-wise, which is like this 3 turns cooldown. The Rogue have AoE stun and has their decoy as well, which is like can turn enemy, make enemy to turn him back to you, and easier to backstab, and well, the decoy can withstand any 3 strikes from an enemy, meaning like enemy spending boss enemy spending his turn attacking decoy while me can backstabbing him with other party members, and then he can stun with the Ranger, alright, and do some area damage or damage over time. So Ranger is like kinda questionable. Maybe you can get Necromancer instead of Ranger. Maybe that will do more damage, right? So Ranger is like questionable if you really want the Ranger. It's supposed to spot like all the traps so far, but he never did. Right? From his description, he's supposed to spot and trap, and that's why we playing Ranger. But yeah. But this is three party members that like absolutely must be there. It's a Priest, Lancer as a tank, right, and the Rogue. That's like 3 party members. Like any party should have at this at least at level 10. That's our conclusion here after analyzing all other classes.